Hi, my name is Don, and my wife and I founded our church in Southern California over 38 years ago. And it's been such a blessing serving the Lord. However, after all that time, I found myself very recently completely empty and struggling in my family, in ministry, relationships, and really I had hit the wall and so burnt out. And so I had heard of this ministry called The Resting Place several years ago. And so I got in contact with Pastor Joe and Vicky, and it's been such a blessing. I was able to come here and spend several weeks to just get quiet and rest and fill up on the Word of God and pray and fast, along with their counseling and insight. Many years of ministry they poured into me, and I have to say the Lord has turned things around, and I'm going home filled with joy and anticipated, again, filled up with God, so that I can continue what God has called me to do. So if you find yourself in a place like I encourage you to contact The Resting Place here in beautiful Tucson, Arizona. And I know God will meet you and turn things around. God bless you.
Popular mega church pastor and mental health advocate Jared Wilson has died by suicide at the age of 30.
A pastor has been found dead near the very courthouse where his trial was underway.
A New Orleans pastor by the name of John Gibson killed himself.
Rowan appears to have taken his own life.
In this generation, pastors are expected to be business savvy, Instagram quotable, preaching celebrities, fully accessible, deeply spiritual, not too young, not too old. And if a pastor doesn't quite measure up to someone's expectation at any given moment, they're given a 2 out of a 5-star rating.
Pastors are people too, and so they're certainly showing some of the same kinds of things that others are doing in our society, which includes this consideration of just quitting, doing something different. It's now 2 out of 5 pastors who say they're seriously considering quitting. It's the highest we've ever seen.
Often pastors, people come to them for help, but who does the pastor go to when they're struggling with something?
One of the important things that Pastor Joe Broad always says is you cannot lead on empty. It's impossible. If you find yourself depleted, then you find yourself losing a sense of clarity of vision and a sense of importance of mission, and you lose the reality of what your purpose and God's plan are all about. And at those times, Satan comes and he does everything he can to tempt and to try to distract God's men from leading the way they should be able to lead. And when that happens, they become susceptible to his temptations. We know what happens when men and women of God are so depleted that they lose their sense of moral compass and they do things that they ordinarily would not even think about doing. But because they do not have that sense of stability and well-being, in fear and in panic and in worry, they are diverted and distracted, and many of them destroyed. So we want to provide a place where men and women of God are able to be restored, refreshed, and renewed. Just think about what it would be like for God's servants to be able to come tired, weary, and worn, but to walk out of the resting place, having partaken of all that's available, and experience what it is to have strong wings, to have courage, to have enthusiasm, optimism, and strength for their lives and the journey going forward. Great leaders need rest. Rested leaders lead great. That's why it's so important that we continue to press for the vision of the resting place.